Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today Kipper and I are hiking in these beautiful woods. Quite a few people are here today despite it being very gloomy. But I was like, oh, let's just get out here. I hadn't been, out like I should be in a long time. As much as I love nature, I hadn't been out as much. So trying to correct that. Kipper loves it as well as I do. So today I thought I would talk about a story or do a story time as we walk through the beautiful woods. So this story time takes place in Tennessee, and to be specific, Pigeon Forge, which Pigeon Forge used to be one of my favorite places to hang out or to go to visit. I just love the mountains. I love Tennessee. In fact, one day I would love to even move to Tennessee. That's how much I love it. But I'm not sure when I'll visit Pigeon Forge. So me and my kids took a trip to Tennessee. Just, I don't know if it was spring break or what, but I think it was during the holiday. So like I've done several times before, visited, got a hotel or a cabin or something like that, and stayed for a few days. So we would always stay in Gatlinburg, and then just go to Pigeon Forge, just see all the different cool things Pigeon Forge has to offer. So went there, had no issues. In fact, I love the ride there because there are so many, I don't know, the mountains. It was around the time, and I cannot remember the year. It had to be maybe 2 or 3 years ago, where there was a lot of fires and stuff in that area. So as we were making our way through the mountains, we saw, you could see just some of the soot and just ash on the trees. So it was interesting to look at. And as you're going through the mountains, you see areas along the side of the road that are very low. But I wasn't, never had a huge fear of heights ever. Grew up around water as a child, so lots of bridges where I grew up. So never tall bridges. So never really, didn't bother me. I've been on a plane many times. So got there, used my navigation, got to Pigeon Forge like I always do. We had a great time. I think it was around maybe 5-ish. And I was like, we probably need to head back because I really do not want to be, kind of navigating back when it's dark. So we left. I think we even went to the snow slopes. There they have like a little area. Where's it, Gatlin? I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting the cities confused. It's Gatlinburg that we visited. So, because they're so close, they're literally just maybe 10 miles apart or less. So it takes, it doesn't take long to get there. So went there, left. So the problem was the trip back was horrible. So got in my pulled out my navigator so we could get back to Pigeon Forge. Navigated us fine. So partway back, I made the wrong turn, and it got us off course. So just like most navigational apps do, they kind of reroute you. So the way it rerouted me took me on a different path than the path that I took to get there. And the path back was steep mountains, with no type of border on the sides of the road. So basically, if you were to, veer off just a touch, you would fall off. You and your car would be no more. Okay? Had my daughters in there. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm sorry. I just have to. We're nearing some water. I do not remember going here before, seeing this trail. So I must have gone another trail. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Let me see if I can get some pictures. Okay. Very, very pretty. The mountain is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So, also, there are horses. People actually ride their horses through here. And I think this is the remnants of a horse that we're about to pass. So maybe we'll be gross. Anywho, so back to the story. Come on, Kipper. He's barking at the people as usual. Come on. We're about to turn around shortly, Kipper. So, okay, so took the wrong turn and everything. And now I'm veering off of the road. Or not veering off the road. I'm now going down a road, a high mountain I've never gone on before. Like I said, I've never had any issues with heights. Excuse me, heights ever. But I don't know, something in my mind kicked off and was like, oh, we're not afraid of heights. I guess the lack of borders on the side kind of put that in my mind. So I immediately had a major anxiety attack and got just so scared. I went so far as to call 911. And again, I'm at just very steep, windy mountains. That's where I was. Mind you, it was only 2 lanes, one way each way. There's no way any type of emergency vehicles could get there. But I was so afraid. I called anyway, and they were like, we can't help you. I was like, oh my God. I was in a rental car. So I was like, well, I'm just going to leave this car right where it is, and we're going to walk down. So I got out of the car, and we started to walk down. So, I don't know. God sent me an angel. Angels, I might say. So they saw us. I guess they could sense my distress. They were in this big, I think we're going to turn around. They were in this big, huge truck. I have no idea how they even got through the winding roads, how they could even drive it. But I'm thinking maybe they are from that area and they're just kind of used to it. So they were able to, so they stopped, saw me, and I explained the situation to them. So I'm like, freaking out, I cannot do this. He's like, well, how about this? I'll lead the way. You get in front of me. You get in your car and you kind of follow me, and I'll kind of guide you down. I'll kind of, navigate and make sure oncoming traffic knows that this is a dangerous, or not dangerous, but, just kind of a warning for oncoming cars. So we did that. I don't even think I got half a mile down where I had to stop. I couldn't do it. It was just, I was freaking out. And I was so afraid that I would be shaking and so nervous that the fear would have just made me fall off the cliff. So I got out again. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So thank God, again, angels saw me and got out of the truck again. And they were like, how about my wife drive your car and then you, and she'll follow me down. She got in. Now we're strangers. She got into the car into my car, into the rental car, and navigated myself down that mountain. You talking about somebody that is so thankful. Oh my goodness. I wish I tried to pay them. They wouldn't take any money. It was just the worst day. But to this day, even though it's been about, I say 3 years, but it could have been even 4 years ago. I don't know. But to this, the yucky gross stuff, no kipper, can't touch that. To this day, I am afraid. I don't want to say afraid of heights so much. I want to say I have a healthy, no, an unhealthy concern with hills and just mountains. And the place that I love, which is, Tennessee, Gatlinburg. I hadn't been since, and it's so sad because from the first time I went there, fell in love with the area, and I have not been able to go. But the good news is I have been able, because I live in an area with lots of mountains and hills, and so I don't, and plus with my work, I've had to go to areas with tall bridges and I have had no choice but to drive and navigate. But I don't remember having to navigate on a mountain that steep and windy before, so hopefully I'll be able to avoid those. And if I do encounter one of those situations, hopefully I will be a lot more calmer. I notice now what I do now when I do encounter, I luckily haven't had kind of exactly the same situation, but similar. And hello, stop, kipper. And I have been able to navigate and just kind of talk myself through it without any issues. Come on, kipper, this way. This way.
He's got a girlfriend he's had for a long time, and
And haven't had any issues, which has been nice. And I just kind of talk myself down, just like, I keep it, it's not a big deal. And this has worked. So that is the end of my story time. Thank you again for visiting. He's getting his shakes.